So they're making this place look nice and serene here. Here's outside the suite section down low. Unique thing about this stadium, it was they dug a hole to build the stadium because they want to keep it out of the flight zone. So there's parking here on the ground level. And right now, we can see that you will have the bar area, a little foyer for the suite area. And you can walk right out here to SoFi. And then you can see again the field that they just removed the logo from it. You see the machines out there moving the logo, but here's a great look at the stadium as a whole. And the Oculus is off, so they're not promoting anything. When you look at the skyline, or you see this open air, so you feel a little breeze right now. It's covered. Again, there's an Oculus circular monitor for the whole stadium. I think it has like 80 million pixels in there, so it's very clear, precise, and there's a great look at the field. Like, it has to be turf. I haven't been down there, but it has to be turf because they just took up the Chargers logo and have it looking real clean for the Rams logo to go down there. But if you look on the far side of the end zone, they have the far side of the end zone, they have the suites, the suite levels, very similar to Cowboy Stadium. They have it surrounding the field, all the way around the field, on both sides of the field. So that's it. That's here at SoFi. That's what I got for you guys today. Tune in when I'm able to show you guys something from game day, some game day live action. But that's what I got for you guys at SoFi today. Thanks for tuning in to my YouTube page, Voice of the Fans. Spread the wealth, fam.
Premium product. So, not every building, but you go into a lot of venues and you kind of have two big options. You have a seat, which we have many of, or you have a suite. And a suite, or a box as they're called sometimes, is a big rectangular room, and that's it. There are so many variations here. We have at least 7 different types of kind of premium seating environments that you might categorize as a suite. This is one. So as you said, it's a 3-level space. There's flexibility. You can see the partition walls here. So this whole space could be used by an organization or a group or a company as one large space. You could rent this for one event or for a full season, or it could be broken up so the owner or the team has flexibility to have multiple spaces. The floor below us serves the seats that are out in the bowl right in front. So those fans come back into this special space, the Corona Beach House down below. There's a floor above us that's similar to this, but a little bit more intimate. So the spaces are also can be broken up and flexible. There's a mirror image of this across the way. And then there's a whole bunch of other really cool concepts. We've got spaces on the field, on the sidelines, where you can really get experiential. That was a big time driver by the architect and by Mr. Kroenke. Was this building should be designed with seating options that fit this market. And this market has lots of mid-sized businesses, lots of really interesting kinds of consumers, and just giving them a seat or a suite option wasn't nearly good enough. It didn't fit the market. So I always felt good about that, looking at plans and looking at it on paper. And now that you actually come in, you can see the spaces and how great the finishings are. Totally nailed it.
Very nice.
So
And then-
if you have access, if you're on the first floor, do you have access to all 3 floors, or?
So it's a good question. It's a little bit, it can be done differently by the Rams as it can be done by the Chargers. I think typically, access to the first floor is the folks that sit in the seats that correspond. So if you were to walk out in the percher, you can see the seats right in front. I think for the most part, they'll stay down there. And then I think the teams will probably put different groups here and upstairs in more of a private type environment. But it's designed where it doesn't have to be that way. So for a certain kind of event or a show, you might have just the folks that sit in front have access to all 3 levels. Maybe there's really different experiences, food and beverage. Maybe there's personalities, and you could have a premium price to have access to a lot more space. So that notion of flexibility kind of runs throughout the whole project. Yeah.
So we're gonna head to our next stop. Thank you very
All
much.
right, guys.
Thank you, Chris.
Good to have you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
This is a more high-end dessert, we might say, and you can see it's very inviting with the lighting.
Restroom, bar. Table.
Champagne, well, this is the champagne bar, and, I like champagne. Look at this bowl. Look at this. Nice. I like the bowl. This is where we were.
And we're just gonna do this. We have kind of room off here.
Cam Buford, Los Angeles News Observer. What's good in sports? I got Kevin Demoff with me to talk about the Rams and this brand new stadium. We're in SoFi Stadium. It's finally going to happen to finally get football season kicked off next week here. Talk to us about the excitement you must have kind of seeing this stage come from St. Louis all the way here to the brand new stadium here in Inglewood, California.
Well, I think back to when Stan Kroenke first reimagined what Hollywood Park could be as a sports and entertainment complex, to what SoFi Stadium could be, to bringing the NFL back to Los Angeles, to bringing the Rams back home. We were Los Angeles' first professional sports team. That journey to standing on the field today, looking around this incredible stadium that all of Los Angeles and Inglewood can be proud of, to thinking about our players running into that tunnel Sunday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys to start the 2020 season. It's been an unbelievable dream watching Stan's journey and Stan's vision come to life, and we can't wait to show it off to the rest of the world.
Now, talk about the team, how they must be excited. They were in here last week, I believe, kind of running through their scrimmage, and we saw, those of us who saw Hard Knocks kind of saw some of the excitement in the wide eyes as they walked into the stadium. But when they settle down and actually play a game, you talked about them running through the tunnel. What that must mean for the organization, Shawn McVay, yourself, Kroenke. We just walked through your suites, and I'm sure it's going to be full in there. Talk to us a little bit about that excitement that you guys got.
Well, I think for us, when those players came through and you saw it captured on Hard Knocks, they kind of had this special moment where they came down the tunnel, dropped outside the locker room, got in the locker room, and they're looking around like, can't believe we're here after the years of the Coliseum. And then there was this kind of quiet migration to the field where they all came out and took their phones or were looking at the video board and the whole stadium. And the oohs and ahs, and I think it was that way the first time they're here, the second time they're here. Hopefully by the time they take the field on Sunday, they start to get used to this building, and I'm sure once we kick off against the Cowboys, it's going to be about getting to 1-0 and starting off the 2020 campaign right, and the intricacies of the game. But I remember standing with Jared Goff in 2018 in the summer when he threw a pass to a construction worker, and then standing with him last week when he's like, okay, I can see the video board, this is my bench seat, how I'm going to watch it. I think once you get in the middle of the game, they're going to be looking at the film, they're going to be talking to their coaches. I'm sure it will all melt away, but hopefully after a win, we'll all be able to look back and say that was a special moment in time.
Now, let's talk about community involvement. Since you guys have been in Los Angeles, you guys have done a number of things within the Los Angeles, Inglewood, Thousand Oaks, and to be a part of the community. Does that continue? How does that continue? And then tell us your thoughts on that part.
Well, when we returned to Los Angeles, we knew how important it was to get involved in the community on a daily basis. We're going to play 16 games a year. The other 349 days a year, you have to be involved in the community. And certainly if you're going to come in and build the largest house in Southern California and make it the Rams house, you have to think about everybody who's in need as well, and not just focus your efforts here on this stadium, but in the Inglewood community, in South LA, in Watts, in East LA, in the Valley, in the Inland Empire, in Orange County, in Ventura County. And I think what we try to do is get involved in every meaningful way we can, whether it's educational reform, community policing with the Watts Rams, building playgrounds throughout Los Angeles School District, building a playground here in Inglewood, investing with City here in schools in Watts and Inglewood. To us, that's at the core of raising the next generation and making Los Angeles a better place, not just here on Sundays, but every day of the year.
Thank you so much for your time, Kevin. We look forward to have much success in the stadium and a successful record for you guys this season.
I appreciate it. Go Rams.
Go Rams.
And the charge locker room has about all
And walk boxes, of course, they've got electrical stations in there. These are state-of-the-art, obviously, lockers for the Los Angeles Rams.
Fancy football man right here.
it's in the shape of a ram horn.
something that people can enjoy on an average Tuesday night with their family, and something that is going to be robust enough to handle the Olympic opening ceremonies. And to be able to fluctuate between those two scales is tough, but it's one of the things that I'm extremely proud of our team has handled, the way that the architecture and the landscape kind of work together to allow those things to happen.
Well, the more we see, the more we like it. It's amazing how they created the areas where there are trees and
foliage and all that kind of stuff, and yet, you know, exterior, everything else, you've done quite a good job.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you know, the landscape integrated into the building is at the essence of what we call designing for embodying Southern California, right? And how that indoor-outdoor lifestyle plays in itself. And then also it allowed us to solve one of the biggest challenges of the job, which was building so close to LAX. And it's the reason why where we're standing now is 100 feet below grade. And we use those landscape, we call them canyons, those landscape areas to really guide patrons down into the building so they don't feel like they're going into a tunnel or a dark hole, but this lush, vibrant, you know, landscape greets you down into the building, you know, as you come down. Just like what we do if we go to the beach and you walk down the kind of edge of a cliff down a series of the stairs, and using that as inspiration to solve one of the largest challenges.
And I know some of the panels on the roof come off, is that right?
Well, they open and close. Yeah, and so there's a series of 16 large panels distributed around the perimeter of the roof, almost like numbers on the face of a clock. They can open and close depending on time of day, direction of the wind, ambient temperature, to really tune the space. You know, so this is an outdoor venue, but we wanted to create and have created, I think, the most comfortable version of that environment that could exist. And we've used the roof to do that. You know, it's almost like a machine to how to control the environment. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Lance Evans, one of the major architects credited for building SoFi Stadium. Can I give you all that credit here?
I wish I could take all that credit, and I'll get some, but no, a lot of effort from a lot of individuals went into this.
You mentioned one of the major challenges was building it so close to LAX, major airport, and going, we're 100 feet deep right now?
100 feet in the ground, yeah. Right.
Encapsulating all of what Los Angeles has to offer, kind of the sun, the breeze, the trees. Talk about that process and how the thought that went into that.
Yeah, so right from the get-go, Mr. Kroenke had a vision of creating a stadium in a district that embodied Southern California. And when we looked at that, it was the spirit of that for us was how we, and I'm at Angelino now, interact with nature and a landscape. How a building of this scale and magnitude, how could we design something that felt truly indoor-outdoor? Something that allowed the venue to host any event imaginable, no matter what the climatic conditions. That's why you see the ETFE roof, but one that did so in a way that allowed all the natural light to flow in this building. And we also have raised all on the concourses, the seating bowl is terraces raised, so that you have direct visibility and connectivity to the action and also to the exterior landscape. So as you're walking around this venue, you never feel like you're losing an experience that you might have, right? You're not walking through a tunnel to go somewhere else. You're not going to miss that big moment. You can turn around literally and see the action on any level of the building.
Gotcha. One of the major challenges, I assume, correct me if I'm wrong, is this rooftop, and then trying to keep it cool during the day because we get a lot of sunlight, and then kind of protect the fans in the stands from all the sunlight that they would get. Talked about the EFT roof, you called it?
ETFE.
ETFE.
Yes.
Kind of elaborate that as best you can in the 30 seconds.
Yeah, sure. So it's a clear polymer, plastic, translucent. It's 90% as transparent as glazing, about 1% of the weight. So that's why you see it used in sporting facilities. We did it first in the United States at US Bank Stadium with Vikings. And it was a way to bring the natural environment into a harsh climate condition. This is a completely opposite scenario where we're trying to allow natural light into the building, and we've done so in a way to protect the fans. We put a 60% frit pattern on the surface of the ETFE, so it disperses the light. So if you imagine sitting in an open air stadium under direct sun, you're getting that list. You know, if you look right now up into the direct sun, you see how the frit disperses that light. So you, without sunglasses or anything, can look up there and it's still kind of a comfortable environment to play. You use that along with the series of operable panels around the roof that can open control, and in essence we've designed the roof as almost an element of a machine that helps control the kind of ambient temperature and environment in the building.
What's the target temperature in here that they're looking for?
Well, it's an outdoor building,
Okay.
you know, so whatever temperature is outside, it's going to be the same in here, but what we've done is made that experience more comfortable, right? So you're not hitting the direct glare of the natural light.
I have to ask you, Mr. Evans, a couple quick questions, but I have to ask you, what's your favorite part of the stadium?
Oh, yeah, I went on a tour yesterday, and they were asking me about that, and I am truly blown away with the quality of light in the space, you know, and how it really does feel like an outdoor stadium, indoor-outdoor. It is one of our first goals of the project, you know, and to see it kind of come to fruition now that all of the thinking and hard work and iteration went into making that a reality. Hopefully, at least it has played out for me. I hope the fans and everyone who comes here feels the same way.
Okay, thank you for that. I have to say, the Oculus is could we have made it any bigger? The one drawback, I say, from everywhere I walked in the stadium, I could get a clear view of the picture. And can you have done something to kind of narrow it down so make it a little more direct for me?
Yeah, the Oculus was such a fun experience. A little side note, you know, because of the lightweight nature of our roof, you know, the cable truss, the Oculus actually helps as a ballast to control the uplift of roof, so it helps in the system.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, so it has a purpose other than just video entertainment. But in essence, what we wanted to do was look at how we as consumers interact with media and consume media. So we want to see multiple feeds at all times, right? We're connected. We want to see fantasy stats, replays, live action, alternate events, all happening at the same time, like we would at our house with an iPad and your phone, television going, you know, watching all these replays. We wanted to have a video board.
Were you watching me in this last fall? Were you at my house watching last fall?
I mean, that's how I interact with sports. It's how, you know, we all just do now. And could we design a video board that could capture that essence, immerse you in this technology, in this environment, that could flex from a multi-surface, kind of content thing to something that is singular in nature, like it is now, and do it at a flip of a switch and bring it close to the fans, so it, you know, it feels better like you know, than at your house.
As I understand it, one final question: there's 80 million pixels, and you just touched on something. All the content that could be added to the Oculus at one single time. How many controllers are there of that content?
Oh gosh, I couldn't even tell you. There is a large room on the 7th floor over here, which is our central command for the Oculus. I don't know if it's part of your tour.
Okay.
But it's worth a visit just to see the network of infrastructure that happens, because they had to push it into quadrants, so you have an inside face and an outside face of the video board on two sides of the stadium, and so how those all play together and can be different and want to come back and be the same, you know, a singular element is a true kind of engineering feat. And we're seeing what you guys doing.
Congratulations on your task, man. This is going to be a marvelous stadium. I've been in LA 20 years. I couldn't wait. When I heard it was going to open 6 years ago, I couldn't wait to see it come to fruition. So congratulations on your work.
Oh,
thank you once again.
Yeah.
Where can the people find you on social media, Mr. Evans? Let the people know.
So I don't even know what my social media tag is.
Okay, what's the office? Give us an office phone number if you want people calling your number.
We're actually just gonna head. Separators between each locker. This is the charger's locker, and as you can see, they also have the separators and all of the state-of-the-art technology in the lockers, as well as they can plug in phones, computers, whatever kind of video games they might have. Everything is state-of-the-art.
right here.